Hey everybody, I want to welcome all of you to a new series that I'm going to be putting together called The Lone Roller. In this new audio podcast, and hopefully soon to be a video podcast, what I'm going to be doing is playing a solo adventure game of tabletop role-playing games. If you are familiar with Critical Role or The Adventure Zone, or if you're like me, a huge fan of Trevor Duvall, Me, Myself, and Die, this is completely just inspired by that. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while now, so we're going to get started with making a game, and every game needs a setting, and every setting needs a way to be played, because I am playing only by myself. As the title implies, the lone roller. I will be rolling the dice, and I will need something to work as a dungeon master, if you will, for no other expression exists for anybody that's into the mainstream. But game master, referee is the other nomenclatures that are out there in circulation. So with that said, I am going to be using a emulator called the Mythic GM emulator, and they are now in their second edition, which just came out a couple of months ago, and I've been reading through it, and it's really exciting, and I like it a lot. I think it's very streamlined way of processing things. I actually have the original one that I bought, and by comparison, this one is so good. I highly recommend it to everybody out there who are playing a solo game or even co-op or even a party game. It really does help out a lot. I've used it before in my own campaigns way back a couple years ago, and I had a lot of fun with it. So that was what I'm going to be using to determine any kind of yes, no answers that are out there as I will be playing through and creating a scene on the whim. The other thing I'm going to be using is a sci-fi setting, because we see a lot of fantasy games out there. Every Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder is always played with using a fantasy campaign setting. This time I want to switch things up and play more of a sci-fi setting. So I will be using a system called Stars Without Number. It is what they call an old school revival, OSR for short, for some of you normies out there. And with this one, it is a sci-fi setting, and it's like in Dungeons and Dragons, you have to meet a target number to succeed or fail on any challenges that you do. So with that said, let's begin with just rolling our characters here. And I do apologize, you're just going to have to trust me when I make these dice rolls here. But you can hear them clickety-clack. So rolling 3 dice, I already rolled a 1. Ooh, oh God, a 5. Oh yeah, and another 5. Hey, look at that. So I have now rolled a 10. So I'm going to create a pool system over here. 10. I need to roll the dice. How many times according to this? Roll 3d6 6 times. So that's the first roll. I'm going to kind of want to make this a little bit easier on myself, but I want to see what I get. Oh, that number should be 11. I got to fix that. All right, second roll. I got a 3, a 6, for a total of 12. So far, so good. We might make a really badass character here, guys. Oh, we rolled a 3, a 4, and a 5. Okay, are these dice loaded? All right, so that is, once again, that's 12. All right, 9, 5 plus 4, 9. Yep, 12 again. Nice. All right. I'm going to change it up and roll right-handed. I've been rolling with my left hand. Let's see what happens when I roll with my right hand. Yeah, there we go. 1, and a 6 for a total of 8. Good. So that is already 4 dice rolls. I need 2 more to wrap up in this game. 6, 2, 2 for a total of 10. Last die roll. Last die roll, baby. What do we get? Here we go. Oh, 6, 2, 1 for a total of 9. All right, we have a pretty well-balanced character here so far. In our pool, we're going to go ahead and start assigning these numbers, but as we go, we should probably figure out what class we want to be. So, I do always see we typically play characters of of melee and very combative type characters. You do get your spellcasters once in a while, but in sci-fi settings, you can also do a different type of character. I was looking at this and might do something a little bit different. So in the game of Stars Without Numbers, you can choose a class that gives you a different kind of a stat to look at. So your basic stats are the same thing as you always see: strength, intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, and charisma. Anyone familiar with tabletop role-playing games will know that those are pretty familiar things. Strength for pushing cards or lifting cards up. Dexterity, how stealth are you and how nimble are you? Wisdom is to be able to have perception of people around you when someone is, giving you some BS. You're able to call them out on it. And of course, constitution is like your health. Charisma is how well you talk to people and how well you communicate, your leaderships. And of course, finally, intelligence. Are you a smart guy or are you a big dummy? Okay. So, okay. I'm going to stop with that. And I'm just going to... So I was thinking I might play as... the three classes in Stars Without Numbers are Expert, Psychic, and Warrior. So it's catch-all classes. It's how you assign your values that you roll to where you want to play and what's the playstyle you want. So with that being said, let's see. I'm thinking of choosing as an Expert. I do have something in mind that I've been kind of bouncing around in my head for a while. So before I assign stats, I want to keep everything normal. So the next thing to do is to choose a class, which I'm going with Expert. And then it says you may replace a prime requisite attribute with 14 where you wish. So you can note that down. So I can change any number I have to a 14. So, that's good. Okay, so do I really want to assign these numbers now? Let's look this over. So let me see here. So I have an 11... 12, 8, 10, and 9. So if I were to just do that based off of how I was already rolling, I have Strength 11, Intelligence 12, Dexterity 12, Wisdom 8, Constitution 10, and Charisma 9. Now, with an Expert, it says here, let me look here what it says about experts. Experts are the men and women who know how to get things done. Repair techs, scientists, conmen, starship pilots, master thieves, medics, and all other concepts that revolve around a great deal of talent and a professional skill are best represented by an expert. They may not pick up on combat skill as quickly as a warrior, but they have an uncanny knack for pulling off near impossible feats of expertise in their chosen field. Experts have a knack for success and can reroll failed skill checks once per hour. Ooh, well, that sounds nice. So let's see here. I already rolled my attributes. That's all done and said. It says here, when you're choosing your class, psychics are gifted with mental powers, whereas they're proficient in combat skills. Experts have expertise in a wide range of useful skills. You may replace one prime requisite attribute of your chosen class with a score or 14 if you so wish. Note down your special abilities. So I obviously I would like to take the lowest number and convert it over into a 14. So I want to say I like the idea that the character is not going to be that strong. I like the fact that it's already an 11, a 12, and according to this, anything between 8 and 13 already has no modifier in terms of when we go to roll our dice. So I think it really kind of hardly matters. So let's do 11, 12, a 12. I want to change wisdom. I mean, even if it's, I'm just going to leave it as an 8. And then constitution as a 10. Finally, charisma, I'm going to move that to being 14. Like I said, I have an idea for a character that I want to pick out. So after you've chosen your class, you have to pick a background. Select an option to reflect your character's early training and origins, and record the skills and package grants on your character sheet. Some packages have skills labeled Tech Any or Professional Any. This means you can select any one specialty from that skill type, such as Tech Post-Tech or Professional Sailor. Skill labeled Culture World mean that the character has a culture skill specialized in their homeworld, whatever it may be. Background skills start at level 0. Okay, good. So let's look at the packages here. What do we have for background packages? So I do have this in mind. Let's take a look here. Background packages. The following choices are just some options that exist for a character's background at the GM's discretion. Additional packages might be added, or existing ones might be changed to suit a particular game setting. I want to see. I don't want the character to be a bandit. I don't want him to be a soldier. Ooh, this is where I was looking at. I was thinking, let's make the character, interesting enough, a politician. Ooh, right? He's a politician, man. He knows how to talk. That's why we gave him a charisma of 14 to be able to talk his way out of any situation if it may so arise. So politicians, on most civilized worlds, politics isn't the blood sport it can be on more elemental worlds. Even so, there are times when a politician can find his or her best advantage in a lengthy span of the public eye, preferably off-world. Ooh. The best of them have a distinct knack for adapting to new power structures. Skills earned are culture, world, leadership, persuade, and steward. Cool. So let's go ahead and add those packages into that. So his skills are going to be culture, world, finally, leadership, persuade, and oh nope, I looked at the wrong one for a second. And steward. I was about to add in survival. I went, wait a minute, a politician be able to survive? What is that? So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then for a modifier on 14, I think that's a +1, right? Yes, it is. So +1. That's right. You can't do that in Excel spreadsheets or in spreadsheets in general. So you have to put it in parentheticals, +1. There we go. Good. So now we have that. Everything else, all my modifiers for my attributes are 0. Good. So then after choosing your background and your class, you gave yourself a training package. Each class offers 8 different training packages to reflect common skills and education for a certain type of character. Choose one appropriate to your character and record the granted skills on your character sheet. For skills labeled any skill specializations may be chosen, but you may not double up on a skill already existing in the package. For example, blah, 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 blah. All right, training packages for your class. Expert. Come on, where are you? And I got a reading of all the skills here. Here we go. Nice. Okay. D6 hit dice is D6. So whatever I roll for that is I'm gonna go ahead and just call it as it is. And since it's a solo campaign and I don't want my character to die, I'm gonna just max it out to 6. If anyone has a problem with it, please take it up with my game master, which is me, by the way. So, specialty, like a charm. Once per hour, the expert can re-roll any failed skill check. The second roll must be used even if it's worse than the first. So, expert class gets combat skills. Okay, I read that wrong. Expert class skills, all except for combat skills, tactics, and tech, sci-tech. So, can't do that. All right. These are my attack bonuses. So right now my attack bonus is settle. My physical effect save is 16. My mental save is 15. My evasion save is 12. My tech save is 11. And my luck save is 14. These will come out later when we get to them as we play over. So here are the expert training packages. So there's adventuring expert, bounty hunter, criminal, explorer, pilot, preceptor, adept, xenoarchaeologist, and scientist. So his training package. So he's a politician, right? His background is that he's a politician. Where did he come from? He had to be something. So the Preceptors Adept are an organization of scholars and instructors dedicated to the preservation of human knowledge. It doesn't sound like my character so much. See here, scientists? No. Let's see. The training option for adventuring expert exists. Let's see. exists for those who prefer to pick their own skills rather than from an existing package. Any 6 skills, at least 4 of which must be expert class skills. Oh, okay, so in this one, this is letting me customize the character. Because the only other one that I can see here that works, if I didn't want to take up any more of your time, is the Explorer training package, which the galaxies jeweled with countless lost worlds, exotic races, and forgotten edifices, both of mankind and of stranger breeds. The Explorer means to find these far-flung places and add them to the known sphere of human knowledge. The profession requires not only a deft talent at navigation, but the ability to survive whatever the Explorer finds. Skills include athletics, combat any, culture any, navigation, perception, persuade, tech, post-tech, vehicle any. Indeed. So, let's see. It does sound like I'm going to have to choose from make any of my own. I might have to customize my own skills. So any 6 skills, which 4 of them have to be from the expert class. So let me see here. Has to be in the expert class. So he's a bureaucrat, right? He is a politician, which means he knows a little thing about bureaucracy. So definitely have to, let's give him the skill of bureaucracy here. Do you ever get that moment where you're like, wait, how do you spell that word? All right, fix it later if I need to. Okay, so bureaucracy. So the only skills I can't have as an expert are anything except for combat skills, tactics, and tech side tech. For all combat skills. Okay, that's fine. He's not going to be great with weapons, people. Business. The character knows how to run a business and deal with others and other entrepreneurs. Nice. Gambling, history, instructor, leadership. So I already have leadership. I already have culture world, which culture world allows us to be able to... the specialty must be taken individually for each specific world and relates to knowledge of the world, society, government, tech level, and laws. Level 0 in this skill also grants proficiency in the world's most common language if the character is not already proficient. Okay, so we already have that. We're good on that. Leadership we already have. Interesting. I can do post-tech, mechanical and electronic skills. I can't take anything in tactics. I can do probably security and stealth, religion, survival, instructor. Let me see. He's a pretty intelligent guy. All of his modifiers are 0. He's really basic when it comes right down to, like, if you just bring him down and boil him down to his one thing, he's very, very basic character. So let's give him bureaucracy. Let's give him... I say... Let's give him culture alien. The character is familiar with particular alien race, knowing their traditions, physiology, and psychology. They can also speak and understand the alien's language, assuming it is physically possible for the human to do so. It does make sense that he would be the kind of character that would know how to speak another alien language. So that's 2. Need 4 more to complete this character. He's already got leadership. Business. Let's give him he can be able to handle business. And then let's give him, obviously, persuade is already in there. Profession. The skill must be taken in particular specialty related to the character's profession, intended to cover those jobs don't have already applicable skills on that. Like a doctor would take tech medical, for example, while a lawyer would be professional lawyer. Okay. Okay. Totally fine. I think let's give him the ability to work. Let's see. Security. Characters familiar with primitive and modern security systems in both from setting them up and defeating them. The character can pick a lock, defeat a retinal scanner, circumvent a pressure sensor, otherwise attempt to overcome security measures. Interesting. I do feel like that could mean the character could do that, so let's give him security. Alright, so that's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more skills left. Navigation. The character can navigate using compasses, astronomic readings, dead reckoning, or other tools. At level 0, this skill is sufficient to navigate on a planet's surface, but at least level 1 is required in order to navigate a starship through a successful spike drill drive. Okay. Survival. The character is trained in survival techniques for substituting in hostile environments with minimum supplies. That doesn't sound like our character. He wouldn't be much of a survivalist. Let's just be honest here. So we gave him business. Why don't we give him athletics? Because he's got a strength of 11, and he's got a dexterity of 12. It makes sense. Let's give him, for the final touches, let's give him the background that he's got some athleticism to him. And why don't we go ahead and finally just top it off with, I thought I saw something here in terms of, I got an idea. Let's give him gambling. Good. So now my character is at level 0 on the following things. And there we go. He's culture, world, leadership, persuade, steward, bureaucracy, which I spelled wrong, I'm now looking at, culture, alien, business, security, athletics, and gambling. For one of those, in terms of, let's see, I believe it's steward. Steward, the character is trained in survival techniques for, I'm reading the wrong thing, I apologize, that's survival. The character is trained in managing wealth and property efficiently. Business skills makes money, but the steward skill keeps it and grows it. Lack of this skill can result in large fortunes becoming small ones through taxes, petty theft, and chicanery. I ain't got no time for no chicanery. Okay, so we gave my character his background package, his training package, and now we need to choose a homeworld. Either pick from a list provided by the GM, or make it up the details of your own. Homeworlds that have exceptionally advanced technology is something rare. And then afterwards, roll your character's hit points, which you already maxed out. Choose your character's proficient on. Add more if he has language +1 modifier, which he does not. Pretty much rolled basic rolls. He's such a starting character. Okay, starting money is 400 plus 1d6. Spend 400 plus 1d6 times 100. So let's go ahead and just roll that really quick. I rolled a 4, so 400. My character starts off with 800 credit. Should have that somewhere around here. I don't think I put that down in terms of my, what's the word I'm looking for? So hit points are 6. He's got no psychic points. Let's see. Don't have a place to put his credit, so I'm just going to leave it off here on the side, 800 credit. Okay, after that, choose a language. He speaks English, but he can speak an alien language, which we will determine at a later point during the game. My character is not a psychic and does not belong to the psychic class, so we can go ahead and skip over that. So let's choose a home world. That seems to be the last thing that we need to do to make this character a little bit more fleshed out, and then we'll get started on the game. Alright, so let's determine the character. I think his home world is going to be a place in the core world system. It's definitely going to have high technology. Definitely high technology. Let's see. So it's between tech level 0 all the way up to tech level 5. We're going to put him at tech level 4. That's his home world. We'll determine the rest of that another day. I believe it's definitely going to be inhabited by millions or billions of inhabitants. It's definitely going to be one of these core world kind of planets that he comes from, because where else would he be if not in a place with breathable air at least, and all that. Good. So we've already created the characters, so we're going to now switch over in a second, and we're going to give a place where everything is going to start, and we're going to begin with a brand new scene and work into it. So let me bring up my Mythic GM emulator, edition 2.0, Mythic GME 2E. All right. So we need to begin with this scene. I think we need to begin. Let me see something here. We should really have a way of creating a character background. And so we can always ask yes or no questions on the emulator anytime here in a second. Random events, lists, event meanings. I think let's start with creating a scene, and let's use the descriptors for that. So under tables and sheets, let's go and let's create an event starting with the action. So on the GM emulator, we're starting off with 41. Escape. Ooh, escape. 87. Surprise. Escape surprise. Wow, that's a good one. Okay, escape surprise. What can we do with that? So let's think about the logic here for a second. Escape surprise is where our scene starts out. He's a politician, and he needs to escape his surprise. Got it. Okay, so he is being chased currently by an ambush by either a unknown opposition, whether it's someone that he has worked with in the past or someone he has even betrayed in the past. That's really good. I like that. So he's already inside of a starship somewhere, a small little skiff, if you will, just trying to escape. And he's not, you already know, he's not a good pilot. We never gave him that training package, nor did we give him the expertise. So he's already at a disadvantage, but he's going to do his best to escape. So let's just ask a question on the first of all, let's start the scene. Chaos factor always starts at 5 in Mythic GM. So we roll a 1d10, a 10-sided die, if you will. And if we go below, we incur, we alter the scene a little bit. 7, we do not. We carry on the scene as normal. So I do want to ask a question. As I'm escaping, am I escaping with someone? Was I able to procure a ship and tell someone, maybe at gunpoint or laser point, because it's sci-fi, that, hey, I need you to go. I'm being followed, hostile. I'm being suddenly attacked. So we're going to ask this question, 50-50 on the chaos factor of 5. So 80 on the dot. 80 on the dot with a 50-50 is a no. No, I'm escaping by myself. So I'm by myself trying to navigate on this ship as I'm escaping from someone who's chasing me. After rolling on the I decided to roll on the Mythic emulator on trying to create the name, and we came up with Talt T. Talt T. Taltti. I love it. It's very sci-fi sounding. I actually love it a lot. So let's see. Escape surprise. So as he's escaping, the scene proceeds as normal. He's in this ship. He's trying to control the small little ship that he's got going on. And so with that, does he exceed? Can he escape? Any kind of any maneuvers that he could do? I have to say, like, it's not a likely chance. The pilot is me, the politician, who's just trying to escape. So is he able to navigate this ship? Well, I'm going to call it unlikely, honestly. So, let's see. So, unlikely, chaos factor 5. 97. Ooh, exceptional, no. No, Talti cannot pilot this ship, and therefore, he gets even caught up in everything. He gets the other ship chasing gets he can't get he gets overrun. He gets overrun, and he's in the ship. He's like, blast it! I can't. Why did I skip pilot school? He says to himself. And as the other ship comes in, almost like in Star Wars Episode 4, right? A New Hope, where the ship, the Star Destroyer comes and gets the Consular ship, and he just kind of pulls in it, or even Star Trek was able to beam. So is this ship that's like catching up to us, or catching up to me? Is it a ship capable of tractor beam, or does it have some other? So let's call it 50-50 on that. 69. No, it's not. So it's just able to kind of just hatch itself on, or like open up a porthole and put us in there. So as we go in, as Talt T now, he's like, God, he's like, he looks around and he goes, there's got to be something that I can use on this. Is there something on the ship that he can use? Any kind of a melee weapon, perhaps, right? Let's find it. Does he find something on the ship that he can use to ambush his captors? 90. No, he does not find anything. So he tries to wait and ambush his captors. So as the doors go in, as he goes in, he's like locked in. He's nervous. He's looking around. He's like looking around nervously. He's like, I could try to set up an ambush, but I don't know how much I can. So he looks over the doors slowly. Open up. Standing over there is a couple of figures, 3 of them ready to take him on. He tries to see if he can even get an ambush. Can he get an ambush in with a dexterity of 11? 10, 11. Ooh. So in Stars Without Numbers, the way it works with determining, let's find what the target was. So with this, we're going to call this skill check 11. So he was able to ambush the 3 figures that came in. How does he ambush? He probably, let's just say he cowered in a corner somewhere where they didn't see him right away. So he was able to just sneak up behind him. But is he able to take out all 3 of them? I'm going to call that unlikely. Given that he did have the ambush, he did get that. So actually, we can even up the ante on that and say that he was able to get an advantage on that. So it could be more than 50-50 at this point. Let's have to take a look on this one on the charts here. He was able to get the ambush successfully. And it's... he's not skilled. He is getting the ambush. Let's call it very likely. I want to give Talti an advantage in this predicament that he's currently in. So very likely, does he ambush all 3 people? 75. On the dot! On the freaking dot! He's able to take all 3 of them out. In some sort of his own way, he was able to jump on one person who then shoots one of his comrades down. The other guy freaks out, and Talti was able to now grab a weapon and fire right into the other guy, taking all 3 of them out. Searching, he finds a key. What does he find? Ooh, he finds a key card is what he ends up finding. And then he goes out there sneaking around. So he's able to take on the ambush, and he goes out there into the dock of his captor ship, able to take out 3 of them, 2 of them dead, 1 of them still alive. He goes and he tries to find something. He finds the keypad where he pulls out the card, and as he scans it, the light turns green, letting it know that it needs a login password. It needs a login password. Using his security, he tries to think, okay, I can hack this. I've worked security before, he says. I worked security before. I can totally do this. So we're going to give him a challenge of 11. So if he can beat an 11, and he does, successfully so, he able to open up the hatch again, Out there, he can see the stars once again. He gets back inside his ship. With the dead bodies and the unconscious person holding the gun close. He tries to activate he's like, oh, please, I can do this again. I know I can. Oh, 6, 12, 14. With the 14, he's able to reignite the star skiff again and get it out of there. He just goes right back out, escaping his captors. However, there are 2 bodies with 1 unconscious person. He finds himself looking over at that person, a young woman, looking down, still breathing. He thinks to himself, well, I think I might have finally got me some collateral. I can get out of this yet, he thinks to himself. And that ends the scene. We're going to end it right there. Was able to create an NPC that we're going to be able to use into the next scene over. So that ends the first episode, the pilot episode of The Lone Roller. Please stay tuned again for the second episode of The Lone Roller.